How you guys doing? In reference to satellite controllers and their hatred and their activity of them and their penis jealousy or their hatred towards other races or their government hatred of them trying to shrink people's penises by making men bleed out their asshole by burning their assholes with satellites. Satellite man, you can get put on trial for the death penalty. You claim you're trying to make other men's dicks smaller with your satellite. You don't have a legal right controlling a person's penis size, or trying to claim you thought you were doing somebody a favor by trying to shrink somebody else's penis. My penis isn't supposed to get smaller. You ain't got no right burning my asshole. You don't have no right trying to bleed my asshole with your fucking satellite. You better stop. You don't understand what kind of laws there are that and things that can happen to you once they catch you, satellite man. You thought you'd bleed somebody's asshole like you were trying to reduce their blood pressure? By trying to make them bleed out their ass like you were trying to bleed them to death? You trying to play anemic games, government man? Trying to bleed people's tailbones, people's assholes? That causes blood loss, doesn't it, government man? I think you're going to need to go into court, government man. You're trying to make other men's children, you're trying to make people that aren't from your family, you're trying to make their asses flat? Trying to injure their tailbones? You just need to tell people what you think you're trying to do, government man, because what you're doing is very physical, serious abuse. It's physical, serious abuse, yeah. They just mess with my mouth, too. You think you're funny, right? You think that since you're a gay satellite man and you're using weapons to burn people's assholes, what's your fantasy about that, man? You can still get the death penalty. That's illegal. You've been burning my ass every day. How many people at the Supreme Court have it on record the amount of hours and weeks and months that this satellite man's been burning my asshole and my tailbone? Haven't received any compensation or any monies to move to another city and state. And they knew that this government pervert, this government faggot, had slandered my character when they had held me hostage here back in the 80s. And the man had tried to say he thought my ass was too round compared to his German race. Obviously, you can't get a clue when somebody tells you they're not German, you psycho faggot. Are you Middle Eastern faggot, or what are you? There's Italians and Europeans and athletes and actors and entertainers and dancers. You know, I've been a dancer, a tap dancer, a bicycle rider, an athlete, a bodybuilder, a football player, basketball player, baseball player, and other particular future sport acknowledgments too. Olympic track and field in the future too. Gymnastics. You know, what do you think you're doing trying to flatten somebody's ass, government man? Trying to bleed somebody to death out their asshole, right? What you doing? Trying to damage their tailbone because you thought you tried to flatten their ass because you thought flattening their ass you thought would change their DNA type? You thought it would change the DNA of their physical identity by flattening their ass, government man? You thought it would change their fingerprints of their identity if you were flattening their ass or damaging their tailbone, you dirty, sick faggot. You government pervert. And don't forget, back in the 80s, these motherfuckers, these satellite men are child molesters. They're dirty, dirty faggots, dirty pedophiles in satellite control rooms and child molesters. See, back in the 80s, you know, I was younger. You know, I was a little boy back then, basic information. And, you know, this government man has been a pervert, a child molester, whoever this government man is in the satellite control room. The satellite man, they can still get charged with that because they did this stuff to me when I was younger. Burning me with satellites, terrorizing my life. They just hit my throat. Think you're funny, don't you? Wait till you go in the courtroom. Somebody might hit you in the throat with a police baton, government man. Don't forget to show up in court, dirty government man. Somebody might hit you in the throat.